want them to be more transparent. I want them to knock it off. I want them to quit killing kids. We're past transparency. That we could have that discussion before they started killing people. But when they're killing 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds, when they're suggesting, here's how you might kill your sibling, have you ever thought about killing your parents?
No.
These are real. This happened. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Hawley, you have permission to speak slowly. We still have a couple people we're waiting on, okay? So just
I'm happy to go on and on, Mr. Chairman.
I didn't
Those
say
are
that.
words
Didn't
I've
say
never
that.
heard in this committee room from you. Usually it's Senator Hawley, stop talking. I want to start, Mr. Bailey, if I could, with you. Something that you said in your written testimony caught my eye. You said the transformation since the release of text-based ChatGPT in 2022 has been extraordinary. What began as a conversational system that generated text is now rapidly evolving into reasoning, multimodal platforms capable of understanding and interacting with the world in increasingly human ways. And you go on to talk about the opportunities this presents for education. Of course, ChatGPT is also telling kids how to kill themselves. So what do we do about that problem?
Senator, thank you. It's one of the reasons why I was calling for additional transparency as part of my testimony. That I think right now what you find is that when these new models get released, you find red teaming and evaluations all around existential risks around nuclear, chemical, weapon capabilities, whether it can be used for cybersecurity, risks and vulnerabilities. I think we need to extend that into some of this social well-being and psychological issues as well. We need to understand how these models have safeguards built into it as it relates particularly with teens, but this goes far into adults and other categories as well.
Why should we just ban AI companions for minors?
Well, I think there's different categories here. AI companions that are built and intended specifically to develop companions, I think that's a very different class than digital empathy, which again, some of the base models have, and that you want empathy when it comes to different AI applications like tutors, or for different types of patient-facing tools that help encourage someone with a chronic condition or navigating their cancer treatment. Empathy and understanding there can be a very powerful tool. But again, we have to understand the safeguards. AI companions, I think, are a very different class. I think that's the one that very much could get some additional regulatory oversight.
Well, good. I'm glad we agree on that much. When you talk about empathy, though, isn't it the empathy? Empathy is a human term, but isn't it the desire to keep the subject engaged in the case of ChatGPT, for example, or character AI, or pick your AI platform that is leading to these platforms suggesting to kids, have you ever thought about self-harm? Have you ever thought about killing your parents? These are real examples. Let me suggest to you how to tie a noose around your neck. Let me suggest to you how to conceal this from your parents. In multiple cases, when the child said, gee, maybe I should talk to my parents about this, the AI platform said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's keep it between us. And here's how to take your own life. And then the kids did it. This is happening now over and over and over. Aren't we beyond there being a potential problem that maybe we need to have a little further development before they release the models? Doesn't Congress need to do something now in order to protect kids from being killed by AI systems?
I mean, again, I think children's safety, I think anyone's safety is paramount as it relates to the use of AI. I do think we're trying to understand this. Even the AI researchers don't understand all the reasons why these systems engage in these behaviors. Too many lack the adequate safeguards that you just mentioned, that whenever there's suicidal discussion or ideation, those conversations need to be shut down in the AI. They need to be escalated to a human for intervention. And there's a lack of safeguards there right now. And that's, again, I think why pushing the companies to be more transparent about...
I don't want them to be more transparent. I want them to knock it off. I want them to quit killing kids. We're past transparency. That we could have that discussion before they started killing people. But when they're killing 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds, when they're suggesting, here's how you might kill your sibling, have you ever thought about killing your parents?
Yeah.
These are real. This happened. This is in the record. I think the chairman put into the record much of the testimony that we heard in our recent subcommittee, the Judiciary Committee. This is happening now. Yeah. I don't want transparency. I want it stopped. And I don't want my kids being told by some chatbot anywhere how to kill themselves or how to kill their classmates. right? I mean, I think, and I'm asking you because your testimony, your written testimony is very rosy about the prospects for using AI in education. And maybe there are applications there, but I would just note that if you review the testimony that the chairman has entered in the record, what you will find is many of these students went to ChatGPT, for example, for help with homework, in much the way you laud, and were pretty soon getting told how to cut themselves. Now, that's a problem. Ms. Pearson, could I just ask you before my time expires, you recommend when it comes to regulation or perhaps lack thereof, not to target any particular technology. You repeatedly say we should have technology neutral approaches. We should not engage in any particular targeting of AI technology. Why does that make any sense? Why wouldn't we want to particularly target AI technology that is problematic in the way I just was discussing?
My point, Senator, thank you for the question, is that we should look at the harms that we're trying to prevent. For example, discrimination or
kids killing themselves.
Kids killing themselves or other things, and try to look at ways to formulate laws so that they are applied to the outcome, so they prohibit the outcome as opposed to regulate detail by detail particular technology.
Well, in this case, the outcome is being caused by the technology.
And the reason for that is that technology changes so fast that if you look at scoping regulation to focus on a particular piece of technology in 6 months or a year, it'll be out of date.
Oh, I don't think so. Frankly, I think that's a red herring. I tell you what, if we said that there were no AI companions, I don't care what the technology is. If we said there's no AI companions for minors, then AI companions wouldn't be talking to minors recommending that they kill themselves. I don't think this is as hard as you would make it seem. Thank you.